I'm live. See how long it takes this time. I'm just waiting for the bad connection message that I typically get. Let's see. Not coming. Cool. All right. So, how's that song go? Is anybody out there? Manny, awesome. Michael, fantastic. Cheers. How's everybody? Golden Steel, brilliant. I hope everybody's well. V Volley. Glad you could make it. Something new. Game 2 Brothers. How's it going? I'm just going to shorten that into GameTube. I hope everybody's doing well. I just got home and yeah, said, heck, gotta do a live. Ja, Grüße nach Deutschland. Greetings to Germany. Tony! Fantastic. Hey, this is great. Okay, we've already got a crowd. That's fantastic. Let me just kind of angle it a little lower, and I hope it doesn't drop. Last time it did. So, right. Everybody's doing well, I take it. It is a Saturday. Y'all were probably at home. The drink of choice today, I'm terribly sorry, is coffee. Straight up, 2 sugars, no milk. And it's nothing fancy. It's kind of like the breakfast blend deal from the grocery store, house brand. Very nice though. Beats the heck out of Folgers. Yeah, I'm not going to translate that, GameTube. Terribly sorry. FIFA World Cup draw, Mexico. Ooh, okay, I didn't get all that message. So, unfortunately, I had to FIFA World Cup draw. My team is Mexico. I'm going against Germany, Sweden, and South Korea. Yeah, that's kind of pretty hard group there on the soccer side. Hey, Mike. Mike McClelland. Glad you could make it. Thank you very much. Michael, Michael Ray. No, I have not been off, unfortunately. I'm working this weekend as usual. And Manny's driving through Washington. How's the snow situation in Washington? Getting in the Christmas spirit yet? Well, as I was saying, I had to kind of move things around a little bit because I've been waiting on my Black Friday order from Maggards. Would have been 2 razor heads in there and a nice handle. Unfortunately, it has been en route until or since the 30th. I don't know what the heck is. Okay, no snow, lots of rain. Good. The reason I can speak I can speak German is because I am German. I just work here. Just to kind of resolve that. Right, so unfortunately, it still hasn't been delivered. I ordered some Wild West Winter Lodge, and oh man, Michael, or Mike, I'm gonna have to switch around here. Just for the ease of thing, Michael is gonna be Michael Ray, and Mike is gonna be Mike McClelland. If you're okay with that, guys. Otherwise, things get confused. Anyway, Mike, it is fantastic stuff. It smells like a cookie bakery, don't it? Oh, I'm needing this coffee right now. It's been one of those days. So yeah, I was looking forward to getting that delivery in and showcasing the razor. Zzz. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. But, but, if you're going for Germany, it's more between you and my team. Heck yeah. We're gonna beat Mexico. Old Farm Show. And I don't take soccer all too serious, okay? I do watch the German team, but it's nothing I could. Okay, you use palm olive, Petronon some together with a DE razor. Fantastic. Green vinegar isn't that good. Okay. Yeah, Mike. I know what you mean regarding the Winter Lodge. You really gotta try to. I almost failed. It's kind of like it does not taste as good as it smells. Do not ask me why. But right, where was I? I do have another piece of equipment because I ordered a custom brush. Cincy, glad you could make it. Ordered a custom brush, and yesterday it finally arrived. And rats, forgot the card, but you'll see from whom. And this is she. This is kind of an aquamarine, and this is a bright white. And I don't know. I was thinking about a name, something like Bahama Beach, the white sand, the nice green water, and this is a 24 millimeter Maggard. All right. Talk amongst yourselves then. I've kind of missed that conversation. Sorry. Um, thank you, Tony. I spent last night washing it out, doing the whole deal with Dawn, and then lathering it up a couple of times with Williams mug soap. Thank you, Michael. And yeah, hold on. I don't know if this will show up. Don't be afraid. I'm gonna turn the lights off here real quick because and it shows up a little bit. It glows in the dark. I'm like a little kid. I'm sorry. Got a brush that glows in the dark. Oh yeah, fantastic. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this, and the gentleman that made that for me also makes soaps. Yeah, I told you. Hold on, don't worry. I'm just turning the lights off. So, Mer Shaving, Dave Ross makes wonderful brushes and wonderful soaps. Is there a shaving soap that glows in the dark? I think, who was it? Douglas made one. Douglas, I think, made one that glows in the dark or something like that. Okay, fantastic. Alex is coming too. So, I got a couple of soaps. I ordered 3, and oddly enough, I got 6. Because he mentioned in his last email there might have been something additional in there. So, Dave, when you see this, thank you so much. That was a really huge surprise. Now, this is one that I ordered. It's Pacific Northwest Fresh, ferny kind of scent. Let's just open it up. This is what it looks like. And it is a fairly firm soap. Yes, you can dent it, but you gotta press pretty hard. And this smells fresh fern, kind of. It's straight up fern. It's very green. It's got a nice scent strength right off the puck. I'd say around about a 5.5, 6, somewhere along that range. And so yeah, that's one. I'm just showcasing this. Sorry. Then this is one I didn't order that he sent along. He wanted me to try. It's Mer Shavings Fougere Bay, and this is the surprise of the lot. You get the bay, you get the spice, you get the orange, but then there's something fancy about it. There's not a lot of clove, and that's what I'm digging. Ooh. So Fougere Bay, a fancy bay rum. This is probably the fanciest bay rum I've smelt. The other one that came along that I didn't order is called Perfection. And this, Cincy, I'm glad you're here. You'd love this. This is like Arco on steroids. In a good way. I know a lot of people complain about Arco and the scent and all that kind of stuff, but this is like a fresh lemon kind of in your face deal. It's not that freshly squeezed lemon, it's limonene or citronella kind of deal. It's an artificial lemon, and it was described as for the bold and a fresh scent for the bold and masculine or something like that. Wow. Give Arco steroids to enhance the scent. Yes, but towelette deodorant. It's Dave. When you see this, please don't be ticked off. But this is kind of what I'm getting. This is like yesterday. I tried to compare aftershaves, to kind of match it to see what was going on. Edison, glad you could make it. Thank you. It's like you'd left Drakkar Noir and 4711 on the counter and you turned the lights off. And next morning, all of a sudden, you had a third little bottle. This is kind of, and really scent, we're talking scent strength here. Brilliant stuff. So you get all the lemony freshness out of those colognes, all those top notes. It's not really fancy, it's bold. Okay, Mike, have you tried Black Ship Grooming? So from Kelly Hogan. Black Ship Grooming, yes, I've had some samples from him. Pretty good stuff. So yeah, this is gonna be something either you love it or you hate it, because it is strong and it is very, very lemon scented. It's that typical 80s shower, what do you call it? Shower gel, like the sport. Extremely lemony sport scent, if you want to call it that. Going in that direction. I'm really struggling here to figure out how to bring this across. So I guess somewhat Arco-ish kind of going that deal. If you're from Europe, you might know Bach or 8x4 or something like that. Those shower gels in the Sport Fresh. They smelled something like that they had in the 80s. So this is I'm loving this. All right, enough of that. Sorry. You can tell I like it, right? He also sent me a Fougere, which I haven't smelled yet. And I'm not gonna open it up yet. This one's somebody else needs to sample or stick his nose in this one first. And he sent me Myra, which is a rose scented soap with menthol. So I'm not gonna open them up. I'm sorry. Like I said, there's somebody I want this to smell first. So yeah, Michael, which one? Yum. Now that, like I said, Mike, regarding the Black Ship Grooming, I've tried 1 or 2 samples of his. It was a great soap base. I really liked that. Scent wise, like I said, I don't have the spread there, what he's got. So, which one would you guys suggest to use today? We got the Fougere Bay, the Pacific Northwest Fresh, and the Perfection. Fougere translates to fern in French, that is correct, but there's different takes on it. Fougere is typically a cologne fern, and if it basically says, like this one, it shows a fern on there, and it's extremely, it's green, it's fern, not Fougere, which would imply somewhat of a cologne scent. This is fern, and you smell, he describes it, Oregon, Washington, in the forest where all the ferns are after a rain, and it comes across like that. You get that fresh green with it smells almost like you get a couple of those. It smells spacious. What was that German rose that was so good they discontinued? Klar Kabinett. Klar Kabinett, that was that one. Yes, they discontinued it. Nobody knows why. Everybody loves it. Everybody's trying to hunt it down. But Klar discontinued it, unfortunately. The Fern. Since you're in Washington, right? Okay, well, that's it. This one? We'll use that one then. Since a couple of people had already said Fern, let's go with that. It's really nice and green. It's got hints of freshly mowed grass. Fantastic stuff. And okay, enough said. We're using it. The soaps themselves, I know they don't show up well. The ingredients list. Stearic acid, water, potassium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, lanolin, glycerin, sodium lactate, and fragrance. So this is vegetarian, but not vegan due to the lanolin. There's animal product. So, but I've used this formulation before, and it was great stuff in the barber shop that he sent me quite a while back. So, razor. Like I said, I'm floating here, flying by the seat of my pants. What would you suggest? Have you tried shavettes or straight razors? Shavettes, yes, don't like them. I can deal with them, but they don't do nothing for me. And straights, I've got 3. 2 need to be honed. 1 would be shaveable, but I don't have a strop, and that's my excuse. I'm using always that kind of thing as a... I don't have a strop. DE of choice. I've got 2. I've got the ultralight or the heavyweight. The ultralight being the unknown German Bakelite, or the heavyweight being a stealth slant from RazoRock. Stainless steel, compliments of Brad Melling, and this thing is heavy. The Warhammer. The HD slant. Alright, we're getting there. I just gotta see what blade I got. The heavyweight. Whoa. You could probably break a sink with that thing. Tell you what, guys, I'm gonna be doing the 4th shave on the Gillette Ruby with it. I've been wanting to see how it does, if you don't mind. Slant, fantastic. Okay, that was fast. And the way I load a slant is, what I do is I pinch this down so the blade has contact, and then just hold the edges. So it's basically already curved in there. And just crimp down on it. And it pretty well lines it up. Fairly good. Fairly good. There we go. Fairly even exposure, although with slants you typically don't have the same exposure 100% all the time, but as long as they're even on each side, that's good, and they are. So let's get going. How many? 19 minutes in it, and I have not put any water on the face. You gotta be joking. Wow. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much. You guys make my evening. I got that razor and it's a pretty good one. Fantastic. Mike, what are you thinking of it? So, dip in the bristles. It's a little bit wet. The funny thing is, this is a 24 mil. And yesterday after blooming, because it's a higher loft, that thing is about as big as my 26 mil. PAA is going to send me a new Bakelite slant head due to the alignment. Hey, fantastic. So this is just kind of scrubbing around in there. Doesn't take that much. Ooh, okay. Some of the other scent notes are coming out. Putting some water on the face. Hold on. Just getting that. Ooh, slick stuff. Beautiful leather right off the bat. Thank you. The soap base is really nice. Cincy, I think you've got Merz shaving soap also, right? Yeah, the Proto. Wow. That's the third here it's losing. Yesterday it lost 2 during the cleaning. This brush is soft. This is first time I'm really lathering with it. I use it, but not too much, but it's a good razor. Yes, I agree it's a good razor, but the thing is heavy. It's like a workout, that razor. Is the video quality good this time? Or decent at least? Cincy, V, I guess you guys know each other? Okay. So you do. Now this soap does require a little bit of water. It's not what I would consider super thirsty, but you guys know I like a wet lather anyway, so not one for pasty. Wow. That's great stuff. You know what this smells like? The greenhouses where the racks in the summertime or springtime when they have the ferns out at like Lowe's or something like that, and you're standing in the middle of it. That's what this, more like a tank leather. You're still giving me a hard time because of that one time, right? Love you too, Manny. Love you too. But on the scent, yeah, it's like you're standing in those racks of ferns. Brilliant. So, RazoRock Stealth Slant, Gillette Ruby 4th Shave, 2 days of growth. And this thing does not give any audible feedback. It is so solid. My most favorite of all my collections is my German Bakelite Slant. Ooh, 39C, 37C. Bakelite Slant. Like a Christmas tree farm. Well, no, not Christmas tree. There's no pine in here. It's just a straight up fern. So yeah, what do you? I know what Manny's doing. He's driving around. But what are you guys up to? Maggard Slant Razor. Golden Steel, that was the one I'm waiting on. The Maggard Slant. not have to push down on this. You have to actually restrict it a little bit. It's that heavy here, this one. Rinsing nicely. Wow. This thing's mowing it down. Not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah. That one I used, JC, the gunmetal looking one. I think so, yeah. The one you can get at Maggard's, they're slant, basically. Above the tine icon, in my opinion, are good razors too. I haven't had a chance to use those. There we go. Wow. Okay. Hey Alex, glad you could make it. I didn't necessarily announce this shave, so I'm absolutely thrilled to bits. How they say it? Chuffed to bits. In England. This stuff is slick. Hold on. I hope not. It's really, really mild. Okay. Well, supposedly it's got a nice bit of bite, the Maggard one. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that one out, and I wanted to use it today. Wow, this is great leather. Really nice, creamy. The knot is cool. This is, like I said, the Maggard knot. First time I'm using it, so I'm thrilled. That's fantastic stuff for the money. Against the grain. Alex, the accoutrements are Mer shaving soap from Dave Ross in Pacific Northwest Fern. Straight up fern, pretty much. A lot of green. No bite, just irritation due to lots of buffing. And the razor is the RazoRock Stealth Slant, aka the Warhammer. No, it's not the Maggard Slant, Michael. I wish I could have used the Maggard Slant, but unfortunately they've been trying to deliver it or something. I don't know. Maybe they lost the package. Yeah, traditional wet shaving is definitely on the rise with all these different newly designed razors. I'm loving it. Now, those of you who know me, you guys know I love my vintages. But I believe this one is going off of a vintage German Bakelite Fasan. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a Fasan. It's that time of year for the male move. Yeah, snail's pace would have been good. Ooh, nice, got me. think I'm getting that hand delivered. There must be a postal worker walking down from Michigan. Mm. Wow. Sorry, guys. It is knocking it out. Just gotta watch that I don't catch the stash. Yeah, a clean shaven postal worker. Yeah. I hope they, like I said, I hope they haven't lost the package. That would not be cool. Hey, Abe. Abe Froman. Question to the audience: do you know where that reference is from? And Abe, you're not allowed to answer. There's a movie where that name shows up in. Wow. I used my R41 today, and that thing will bite you if you let it. Yeah, well, R41 is what I wanted to get from Maggart's originally, but I was like 10 after 4. It went online at 4 o'clock. 10 after 4, I was on the site, and it was already sold out. So either they had an extremely limited amount. Tony, thank you. You know it. I'm not going to repeat it. That is for us to know and for others to find out. You can leave that in the comments underneath once the shave is done. So yeah, the slickness is excellent on this soap, guys. Great stuff. Guess we'll do the pickups then. And I overloaded this brush slightly. First time using it, so the Mershaving Bahama Beach, does that have a ring to it? I don't know, guys. Bouncing some ideas off of you. Alex, because you came a little late, I got a new brush made by Dave Ross from Mershaving, and with a 24 mil 24 mil Maggard Finest, and yeah, it is fantastic, and it glows in the dark. Yeah. Doing the pickups. I really gotta watch it. With the weight of this razor, it's hard, somewhat difficult to control a little bit. The pressure, I'm not used to that. As a Chicago resident. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those classic movies that you just have to see. Now this razor really does not have an aggressive feel. Absolutely not, due to it being so solid. But it's efficient. Not R41. I don't know about you, JC, but I can't stop buying vintage razors. Yeah. Welcome to that rabbit hole. I'm horrible about that. I got a serious acquisition disorder. You always see something new that you haven't tried yet, and it's kind of like, ooh, is that better? I do want a Gillette Super Speed red tip, despite what those Wisconsin farmers say. Bloodbath? Where? A little bit here, a little bit there. Or is that part of the conversation here? Red tip. Oh, no, red tip is actually not that bad. I like the red tip, but they're being hyped a little, and that's what makes them expensive right now. Well, black tip. Oh, the vintage 40s basically black tip, early 50s. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, you're not gonna get too much more aggression out of a super speed, to be quite honest. The red tip, the black tip probably might not have a date code if it's before 55. No, the black tip is not the aggressive one. I mean, it's a super speed, guys. Um, if you, I mean, it's not really aggressive compared to a tech. Maybe. Hold on, let me rinse off. Wow. Oh, super smooth. Hold on. If anybody sees this after, disclaimer: do not do this unless you have a really good soap. There we go. There was one little stubble that annoyed me. Yeah, wet face, good soap, plenty of rest slickness on the face. Wow. Buff, buff. Sorry. There's just something right there that annoyed. Blade buffing, yeah, to some extent. I am a buffer. I like to buff, um, but it works for me. I can get away with it. Other people can't, and that's the nice thing and the beauty. You develop your own technique. Whatever works for you, for your face. I can't tell you to shave a certain way. Won't work. You're probably gonna, if you shave the same way I do, there's a good chance you might start sending me hate mails or something like that. Yeah, Cincy on the black tip, there is no date code probably because they were made before 55. They started putting the date codes on, I think, the very last ones of the 40s design, which were 53, I think. 53, kind of the X X models, if you want to call it that. I think 53 is X. Don't quote me. Wow. I can't stand the razor. Seriously, wow. Hateful, hateful. Witch hazel. And I have to admit, I did get myself a couple of times. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. Buffing with a slant, probably not the best idea. Yeah, I mean, I have my short stroke technique. Don't mistake that with buffing. But when I'm on the cleanup pass, that's when I start really buffing them. Just kind of hitting it from different angles and trying to get those last little bits. And it did not work out so well with the RazoRock slant right now. I did get myself a couple of times. So, hey, like they say, you know, getting a weeper or something like that, it's not a matter of if, it's when. It's part of the shave. Cheers, guys. The Black Barrel. The Black Barrel Gillette Super Speed, or Black Handle Gillette Super Speed. Y'all mean this one, right? Great shaver, by the way. But also, I put it fairly in line with this one. Now, this one here, it's a little bit more, for me, and this is just for me, it's just a tad more aggressive than the regular flare tip. The regular flare tip, if this is kind of the medium one, this one is in between this one and the red tip. We got a super speed showcasing today, apparently. So the way I'd put him is like so. Red tip being aggressive, more aggressive. I mean, it's a super speed, guys. You know, this is not going to take your face off. If you shave wrong, as it will. And this being the medium, this being slightly more aggressive, and this being the most aggressive of the super speeds. And this one, the 40s, to be quite honest, I'd put it in between, kind of like with the black handled one, sort of along that line. It's got a little bit different geometry. It shaves slightly different. It's a little smoother for me. But on that one, your mileage may vary. Seriously. It all depends on what blade and how your face feels aggression. Other people say R41, you know, hey, super smooth shaves. Other people are kind of like shaking in their boots, just loading the blade into it, you know, before they put it on their face, because they're so, you know, they just react different to different types of aggression. I'm gonna just styptic pencil. I don't like those blotches. There we go. Got all that closed out. So yeah, I hope, like I said, that's my take on it. How I perceive the aggression on those razors. So just saying. It is not set in stone, and I am by no means an expert. This is just personal, how I see it. My opinion. Right, so we're dry. Let's get some aftershave on. I use shaving oil. That's half the shave. Okay. British Rocket flare tip is slightly more aggressive than... Yeah, exactly. The British models are more aggressive than most of the US models. So, I'd say we go with this, huh? Something green. Irish Moss. It's always good stuff. By no means a match. In any kind of way, this is spicier than that soap. You get a little bit of green. Thank you, Manny. The moose, exactly. Sterling has a soap or aftershave of Irish Moss. Wee. Now the face doesn't feel half bad, but this cut on my finger. Oh yeah. Now I know they had one of the English, or the English leather. They Sterling had one that was called British leather or something like that. Sterling Sterling Soap Company. Oh man, I love that scent. Hey Brad, bad connection from my side. Oh, that'll be Cincy. That that one's for you. Oh wow, Brad, glad you could join. Unfortunately, we've already shaven. So yeah, um, let's just round out what we've used. Shaver for today, the Razorrock Stealth Slant, Gillette Ruby, fourth shave. Blade was smooth. Fantastic shaver. Just this one's I think something you'd have to use a couple of times just to kind of get used to the weight and the angle and all that kind of stuff. But it's a fantastic shaver, and Brad, since you're here, thank you very much. Seriously, a brilliant piece of equipment. Now, we used the Mershaving Pacific Northwest Fresh. Beautiful, nice, light, fresh fern scent. Alex, you are correct. You can drive a nail with that thing. If you drop it in the sink, that razor ain't gonna break. The sink's gonna give. You're gonna crack that thing. If you drop it on the floor, the tile's gone, or your foot, for that matter. Ah, Manny, yeah, good one. Got me. There are five hairs that I'm combing back. Okay. All right. Y'all are fantastic guys. Love every single one of you. Um, I don't need any pomade for that. Turtle wax would do. Using my brand new Merc Shaving. I love you too, Manny. My brand new Merc Shaving 24 mil with a Maggard knot, finest badger, glow in the dark, and like I said, I'm thinking about something Bahama Beach kind of deal. If you got any input on that, go ahead and toss it in. Once you get over laughing about that one. So beautiful brush, absolutely fantastic. Dave did an outstanding, fantastic job. That's the only way I can put it. Dave's a great guy and does fantastic work. So yeah, putting that out there. And then, like I said, the brush is from him, the soap is from him, and yeah, he's in Oregon, by the way. Just saying, Manny. That's your neck of the woods, ain't it? So yeah, after shave of today. Thank you guys. Y'all, every single one of you is fantastic. Now, aftershave for today, Irish Moose. Just kind of going off the green color with the green scent. It's not a match by any kind of means. It is a true fern green scent. Really nice. It smells kind of outdoorsy. There's no cedar or no pine or anything like that. It just smells like fresh fern, like a fern forest, and you've just walked through there, and after the rain, it smells very kind of. It gives you that feeling of openness, if that makes sense. If you guys are into scents a little bit, maybe now the face is feeling good, feeling great. So yeah, it's not your everyday scent. That I have to say. Like I said, it is green. It's very green. Not so much cologne, more on the green side. So yeah. All right, now we can get into the more into the chatty part. And I'll just wash out the brush because this thing is absolutely loaded. So you guys can see it for those of you who joined. Todd, glad you could make it. It was kind of like last minute. So this is what it looks like. Now, this is a 24 mil. This is the Sterling 26 mil. I wanted a smaller brush than this. Somehow I ended up with it basically being almost the same size. Yeah, thank you for joining, Todd. I mean, it's fantastic. Great shave with the RazoRock Stealth Slant. Mershaving soap. Had a Gillette Ruby in there on the fourth shave and still behaved fantastically. So, yeah, the Wild West Shave Co. soap. Man, Russell, he nailed it. And Russell, if you see this, happy birthday, my friend. Yeah, I am going to need something to contain these puppies. Look at those things. Both finest. This is from Sterling. This is the Mer shaving handle. And this is a 24 mil Maggard. And I had the loft set a little higher. Dave suggested it. And it came out beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful and soft and everything. I mean, but it just bloomed out. Huge. Like I said, 26, 24. So, if you like big brushes, whoa, way to go. And I just love this handle shape. Did fantastic on that. Just really good in the hand. Classic. Your classic kind of shape. Finest is some of the best stuff I've noticed. It's really not that much. It's like if you consider the higher price for Silvertip or something like that. In this range of pricing, I'd say Finest is fantastic. The sea green is great, isn't it? He nailed it. I explained I want I want a bright white top and something like an aquamarine turquoise kind of color in semi-translucent. And that's pretty much all I gave him to work with, and he nailed it. I mean, this is fantastic. So, it's Dave. Dave from Mer Shaving. Fantastic guy, and he just understood it. Yeah, it's got that vintage look, doesn't it? There is a brush out there that this is based off of. As far as the handle shape goes. I told him I want it like kind of like that, and he said, I know what you're talking about. I got you. And nailed it. I mean, absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. Little shameless plug there for Mer Shaving. Deep blue. Well, it's not deep blue. It's kind of it's got this Bahama beach. It's like right off the beach. What the ocean has as a color, it's just that, and it's perfect. And the nice thing about the guy is he's got some brushes on his page, but if you hit him up, he'll make just about anything you want. It's not kind of like, no, you only have to go with this deal. This brush type is not his signature brush shape, handle shape. But I asked him if he could do it, and he's like, sure. Yeah. It's a beautiful color, like I said. So, yeah, I'm thrilled to bits. And like I said, it glows in the dark. Should we try that again? Nobody go away. I'm going to turn the lights off, okay? I'm going to see if it'll show up now. I'll just hold it against the light a little bit. more, so it charges. Uh, his are chubby shape, I think. Not really. He's got a fairly slick design. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right, I'm turning the light off. All right, I'm still gonna be here. Just gonna go dark. Woo! And there it goes. It's fantastic. Of course, the camera is trying to adjust for the lack of light, but all right, watch out! I'm turning the light back on. That is absolutely brilliant. No, this is the same stuff that you have in those. You know, as a kid, maybe the vampire teeth that glowed in the dark and stuff. It's just absolutely brilliant. I was thrilled to, and I didn't ask for this. He was kind of like, hey, he was struggling to get the color, and whatever makes it glow in the dark gives it more of that aquamarine kind of color. Once upon a time, I worked at a nuclear reactor. Yes, sir. But now you can shave in the dark. At least you can find your brush. So, yeah, and he said, would this be okay for you? And he showed it to me on a picture, and I just totally flipped. I mean, that was fantastic. I'm like, yes, I want it. So, yeah, even though you're 40 years old, we're all just kids somewhat, sometimes. So yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Loved what he did there. And I do not think it's it has any sort of radiation or something. At least I hope not. I don't know what Dave does for a living besides making brushes and soaps. Maybe he does work at a power plant. Who knows? And now they're missing a little something. Yeah, nuclear. So yeah, that's fantastic. I know I keep playing with the mustache, but I'm not gonna put anything in it because after this I'm going to bed. So yeah, it'd be kind of a waste of time. I'll just mess it up. I'll do that in the morning before I head to work. Uh, well, um, Golden Steel. What's your first name, if I may ask? Um, Phosphorescent. That's the stuff. It's the same thing in kids' toys. Like I said, in Germany we had the little vampire teeth that you could stick in there. The plastic ones they would glow in the dark and all sorts of stuff, which would now probably be considered damaging to your health and Lord knows what. So all you need now is that glow in the dark soap. I think it was a special edition from PAA and something clown thing. He had one out that glowed in the dark. So naturally occurring in seawater. Okay. Yeah, there was like I said, there were. I think there was at one point in time that. Okay. Thanks, Golden Steel. Does it really glow in the dark? I haven't seen the video. I think. I mean, I've been trying to catch up on all the videos lately, and it's just kind of at some point in time you just have to make a cut and move forward. Otherwise, you're just gonna be trying to catch up for the rest of the time. I gotta check it out then. Okay. All right. Cool. Um, yeah. Tomorrow I'll do a regular shave. Um, Sunday night or Monday morning, depending. And just saying, Brad put me up to this. He wants me to use this razor, a Kai disposable. It's one blade, doesn't swivel or anything like that, and this is metal, so very interesting. It's like sheet metal. And so we're going to be using that tomorrow. Looking forward to it and somewhat dreading it. I don't know what to think of that razor yet. But Brad said it was really good. I'm not going back to cartridge shaving, no worries. I will, I'm just saying this periodically, every now and then. I will go back to some vintage cartridges, just for one shave or something like that. And I like to do that just to kind of, first of all, showcase. You can get a decent shave out of those things if you're willing to put up with the price. If you know what you're doing, it's a lot of it is just down to technique. If I knew back then what I know now, as far as shaving goes, I'd be a lot better off. I would have saved myself 20 years of bad shaves, even with a cartridge, because I would have picked the right cartridge for me, and with the right technique, I probably would have ended up a heck of a lot better. But on the other hand, I might not have looked into DE shaving, because that's the initial reason why I got into DE shaving, because I was getting the most horrible shaves ever. So, and then you start looking into it, you start working on your technique, you figure out, hey, what the heck is against the grain and across the grain and mapping your beard, and all of a sudden, it clicks. And now, super smooth, slightly blotchy here, but like I said, if you switch up razors all the time, it can happen. Every single razor's got a little bit of a different technique, a little bit of a different thing to it. So they scare the shit out of me. What, cartridges? Yeah. Something like this. Like a vintage track 2 or something like that. I agree, guys. Don't. Whoa, watch out for the stones. I love my DEs, and it's the best thing for me ever. You guys know that. Like I said, I even prefer them over an SE. 13 blade cheese grater, exactly. Those are the ones you don't want. And those are the ones I don't want to showcase. I have grown fond of the Gillette new short comb. Glad you like it. I absolutely dig it. The Mach 3 sensor were my birth year razors. Yep. Now, the Mach 3 is considered kind of where it went off into the deep end, let's put it that way. It's a fact, stuff today as it was in the past. I agree. If you have a look at the DE razors, I mean, those designs have been around for what now? 100 years now? Yeah, everybody's tweaked a little here, tweaked a little there to make their own razors, and every single razor shaves different. But in general, the design of putting a blade in there, and it's 100 years old and it still shaves fantastic. And by putting 27 blades on that darn thing, it has not improved it. The only thing it has improved is Gillette's wallet. That's what it comes down to. No, they don't sell the sensor handles. You're gonna have to source one either aftermarket out of India. India still makes ones that accept sensor cartridges, or you go vintage online. So, like I said, you can get a decent shave out of a cartridge if you want to, but like I said, not that big old. It basically reminds me of driving around a small Italian village in a 1976, what is that, a Cadillac Eldorado, that huge banana boat. It's just not going to work. It's useless. If you have a look at, this is a sensor from the 90s. This is a fairly small head. You can still maneuver this. There's a couple of things that, just kind of need to be explained. Because kids nowadays, I mean, I got a 14-year-old, they watch the advertisements. And they get told, yeah, the more blades, the better. Of course, they get suckered into it. Not always, like you guys said. Sometimes the old way is the better way. Things were just made different back then. I agree absolutely with you guys. Uh, you know, one blade is basically enough. Enough wisdoms. Persona 74. Ooh, you just mentioned something there. I gotta dig that blade out again. I only had like one or two shaves on that. I want to see how long it lasts because that thing is legendary. Stuff was simple back then, exactly. You could work on it, and it was made to last. You know. By the way, the Persona 74 sponsored by Todd F. I helped the guy in the supermarket choose a razor. His head, oh darn it, disappeared. Gotta wait for the next comment so I can read it. That's the only downside on this whole live thing. On the cell phone, the comments come up here, and they're only visible for a few seconds. If you're talking and you don't, you know, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Exactly, Manny. Exactly. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. His eyes almost popped out of his head. Yes, with those modern concoctions. Ah, okay. I'm tapping. Ah, there we go. Cool. I didn't know that. Thank you, Cincy. Oh, V is a woman. Well, I've got visitors. Fantastic. Oh, Tony. Hey, thank you for popping in. And Michael, I agree. All it is a marketing gimmick. Gimmick. The only reason they changed up the, going from the E blades and it went into the cartridges is because the patents ran out, and everybody else was making better blades than Gillette, so they were losing market shares. So how do you tie the consumer to yourself? Well, you bring out a system that only uses Gillette blades and nobody else is allowed to copy. Once those patents run out, you add another blade. Boom, different system on it, so you can only put that on that handle, and there we go. Same deal all over again. It's the improvements on all that kind of stuff ran out, what, 30 years ago. Between the first cartridge razors that came out, and I think it stopped with the Mach 3. That's where the innovation is has stopped. That's where the blades were almost perfected, the mechanisms, the pivot mechanisms, and all that, and that's all you need. Because I get a fantastic shave with a Track 2, which has no pivot at all, but it has the modern blades in it. So everything else is just marketing. Just, they're trying to tie the consumer in there, and you can see it on the pricing. If you have like what is it, 4 or 6 blades for $38, um, it's no, no, and that's basically why I hated shaving, because I was trying to, yeah, I was trying to make a blade or a cartridge last just way too long. So yeah, but so please don't hold it against me if I bring that in a separate video at some point in time. Trying to explain that to the youngsters, just so they know, just for forever who's interested. This was kind of tucked away at the end of this live shave. So. All right. Gillette can Gillette can produce a fusion cartridge for 50 cents, if that. I mean, with the output that they have, I mean, it's yeah, and thank God. Well, they came back with traditional shaving never died. It just kind of it mellowed out a little bit because everybody thought this was the way to go, and the way they were selling it was, well, this is a lot easier. All you do is, and if it's not cutting close enough, press. Mm, 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 mm. Like everything else in life, shaving is a skill that you need to learn. You didn't come out in this world basically running a marathon. You had to learn to walk. Exactly, it's sold at 5 times the cost. I mean, it's a huge money making machine, this whole shaving deal. And for the longest time, Gillette was the big boy. Schick or Wilkinson Sword, they were small players. And 450% over cost to manufacture. There we go. That's some great information right there. It's insane. And the only reason they wanted to get out of the DE business is because everybody else was able to copy those blades. You know, you had no proprietary system for the people to buy Gillette blades. And I mean, nowadays it's come to where, you know, especially the Russian brands or some of the you know, wherever they get made, a lot of those blades are excellent. But if you look at some of the blades coming out of the 60s, I mean, okay, vintage blades is always kind of a deal. You can get some good ones and some bad ones, which have kept better. I've had some extremely good shaves with vintage blades, but I've also had an incredibly bad one with some vintage Gillette thins. You know, they had to do their homework more in order to be still the top player. If you have a proprietary system, who cares? These people are going to buy the darn product anyway because they have to, because now they have their razor. How many people are like us, which have a multitude of razors to choose from? No, usually you have one. One razor, and you buy the blades for it. And that's what they were going off of. Somewhat, the somewhat laziness of people. They've gotten used to this, and well, this razor's still good. I'm not gonna toss it, so I'll just go buy these blades. Yeah, well, the shave's all right. Yeah, ain't the best. They're not gonna go out and try. Well, okay, let me get 20 razors and 20 different cartridges and spend about $200 and see which one's best. Makes everybody mental, Brad. Me fiddling with the stash, but I gotta get it out of the way since there's nothing in here that'll hold it in place. I keep chomping on it. So, yeah, at work they finally they got used to it. So, I think we all are addicted to shaving products and hardware, Todd. I think every single one of us has a slight acquisition disorder. Brad mentioned it. Actually, was it this morning or was it yesterday? It's kind of, what in the world is wrong with us? Yeah, it's just yeah. We're not hoarders, but we like to have a nice selection. If I look in my soap cabinet, I think I've got enough for the next 30 years. Uh, Shavers, I ain't gonna. Yeah, I think I'm with the razors, Todd. You're at 24. I think I'm at 27 now with the single edges. Got a guy at work, gave him a safety razor, said he will never go back to cartridge razors. I'm not saying that I'm going back to cartridge razors, but there is certain situations where they are necessary. Let's say you're traveling with checked luggage only. You cannot take a DE on. You can take the DE, but not the blades onto the plane. And since we're in the US and DE blades are hard to come by, you've got a problem. So there's where you would need a cartridge. And what cartridge do you pick? Well, it's probably a good thing if you know beforehand and you've got a cartridge razor that you can deal with. I had no idea until I found the shaving community on YouTube that I had better choices. Exactly. All of a sudden, a whole world opens up. Very well said, V. Yeah, Brad. You're you should open a museum, and since your daughter's sitting next to you, um, push him towards that. He loves people so much. So yeah. No, I mean this whole wet shaving world 2 years ago when I got into it, a little over 2 years ago, was incredible. It was eye opening, and I'm glad I dove in head first. So it's something else. So many blades to choose from, and every single blade is different. Every single razor is different. And then when you combine the two, you've got great combinations, not so great combinations, and just figuring out what works wonderfully for you until you have that perfect shave. On the 74, I think I have two shaves on it now. I think that's it. Two shaves. That's all I did with it. So uh, there might be a chance that I'll take it out for a spin and just kind of during December until I head out for vacation to Germany. Um, might use just exclusively that. Only 58 to go. Yeah, well, that's what they say, you know. But on the other hand, like I said, everybody's different. Everybody's got different stubble, and I know on some of the blades where some people get, you know, 6, 7, 8 shaves. I typically only get 4 to 5 max. So I would rather go electric than card. Electric is my absolute nemesis. The the worst razor burn I keep saying that I ever got was when I got my SE razor, my Gem G bar, and I didn't know how to use it properly. I got the angles wrong and it gave me the worst razor burn. But it was comparable to the time I used my electric. I still have a Philips Norelco uh, at my mom's somewhere in the attic, which I thought at the age of 16, 17, 18, somewhere along that line, I needed to go electric. You talk about painful. So, electric is not an option. I know the advances have been made there too, but yeah, porcupine, yeah. Yeah, it's just killer stubble. The hairline just kind of ended here. That's the problem. It's like with a mountain. The caps are snow white. There's no trees. When I do my first shave vid Christmas, I hope you. Absolutely. Um, hey, just hit us all up. Let us know when you're going online. You know we'll be there. We're always game for a shave vid. So, coming out of the shaving closet as a woman. There's not very many female shavers that make videos. Erica from Stash Soapworks is one of the few. I admire her very much. Fantastic person. And she does great vids. I mean, with the videos that she makes, she shaves her legs with a straight razor. So, that's really bad. I'm a woman who shaves her face. Oh! Who did that? David Gonzalez, his wife Rosie. She did two face shaves. You'll never shave your legs, and so he thought until he went into hospital. So yeah, trust me, there will be a time when you will just kind of have to. Been there, done that, had fun, plenty of beer involved. So yeah, I'm not doing that again either. It's usually, hey y'all, watch this, hold my beer. That was a bad evening, by the way. Mm. Bunch of guys. If you leave them to their own devices, terrible. Worse than a kindergarten. So no, definitely V. When you come out with the video, absolutely, just kind of let us know. I think we all want to see this one. The Shave Queen and Rosie. Which one's the queen? Oh, yeah. Now I remember. Way back when she gave up doing videos quite a while. And then there's as far as female shaving, leg shaving, and all that kind of stuff. I know it's not what you do, but um, from Maggard Razors, what's her name? Casey Maggard. She did a couple of videos, very helpful. So you know, but face shave for women, that's cool. That is pretty cool. Women's take on that. Didn't one big channel shave his girlfriend's leg with a DE. Ooh, I don't know. Every now and then you see it. Yeah. You mean the stallion? I think. It, absolutely. Hey, that's what we're here for. I mean, it's a big shave family, if you want to call it that. This whole community. It's uh, it's always been great in support, great with information, and it's look at you guys. It's what time do we have? It's almost 10 o'clock at night, and we're sitting here. I'm in the bathroom, and we're chit chatting about shaving. I mean, where else do you find that? It's just wet shaving grows some fantastic gentlemen, and now a few ladies. So I'm absolutely welcoming that. So yeah, the more the merrier. And all these shaving principles that we use on our face, they apply. Shaving is shaving. You do not have to map the leg maybe as much. I don't know. I've never shaved it, so I don't know which way that grows, what's against the grain, and all that kind of stuff. But I take it, the same principles apply, like pressure and all that kind of stuff. So it's shaving is shaving, and the technique might be a little different, I think, than with a face shave. But as far as the basics that go to it, fantastic. Heck yeah, Mike, you nailed it. We do stick together. It's a just an incredible community. It's absolutely fantastic, and I don't think I've met a bad person in this whole realm, which is very unique. I mean, if you look at the size of the community, yeah, there's a few which you might not agree with, but if you take that whole thing of your mileage may vary, it's kind of like, okay, you've got your idea and this works for you, and that's fantastic. I've got my idea and this works for me, and everybody can live with it, and that is brilliant. I mean, doesn't get any better than that. You will be scared to see how much gorilla hair I can grow. Yeah. Well, I try not to go over 4 days. So I think the most I've had on camera, I think, was 5 or 6 days. And after that, I just kind of go, oh, I want to shave it off. So, yeah, cool. I think this has been the longest live shave ever, and I mean, this conversation is absolutely brilliant. I am loving it. But nonetheless, I do have to get up in the morning. So I've got a couple of things to wrap up and then I'll head to bed. But thank you so much for a fantastic evening, guys. I have to say guys now because I can't say gents, ladies and gents, lady and gents. Would that be the right term? Would that be okay? But no, it's thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a fantastic evening. Peeps. Peeps? Peeps is too modern. I can see a 20-year-old saying that. Peeps. Thank you, Mike. I will do my very best. Wish everybody a good night. A fantastic Sunday. You guys watch out for yourself, and I'll see you around. So, thank you. Bye. Night. Yeah.